Right here is the entrance to our range. It's at the corner of Miller and Taylor Road, where they bisect, but it's dead end. There's no outlet. It's totally private. Out here we can do 360-degree training on moving target systems. This is also a whitetail hotbed activity area. Lots of great hunts have come off this 64-acre property that we own. But go out here and kind of show you the range. There's lots of different setups. So, I mean, you can do any type of combat simulation out here at this range. And there's some open areas also that we can just basically redo them for the show, make them a little bit nicer. But we'll get you up here to our range, and we'll probably see some deer. There's a bunch of deer around here also. On the road coming in, this is the start of our property right here. There's a berm there, which the deer have knocked down, and then in the distance you can see one of our target setups against the berm back there. So out here you can actually have a 150-yard shot to that target. There's also a tree stand right there, and we use that for like sniper training off that platform, and hunting as well. Down in the area where you see all these little pines on the way out there, I will show you a tremendous amount of buck rubs in those trees right there. We've had big bucks come through while we're doing training, so we had to basically stop training, ceasefire, to let the bucks go through. And there's big hills and valleys in here as well, so almost everything is a natural berm. We had the property logged off a couple years ago to prepare to build more range activity and to prepare for the hunting show and the tactical show. So everything that we're presenting has been a couple years in preparation, and we're ready to go. I'm going to open the gate now. Right over there is our pistol training area, and then we have that 150-yard sniper stand, so the berm's built right into that natural ridge. And we can expand on that and go back further with heavy equipment operators, union operators. I did reach out to a friend of mine that runs Hinkles and McCoy, which is a union contracting group. They might be interested in that marketing, or they may not. I'll have to find out. I left them a message. So, but you can see all the natural ridges and habitat, and every single thing that we do. I mean, we could even, get a bunch of firewood for the camp, that kind of thing. If we do events, maybe we'll do some charity events where people can come out here and actually camp and do tactical training or hunting. I was thinking about putting some of those container style homes back here for the range. So this area here, and there's multiple stands set up here as well, and platforms and things like that, but this is a big open area that we can build a really large outdoor range, and it won't take long at all with the front end loader and a bulldozer over here rocking and rolling. So over here this area. We can take that and move it into a berm. Down there, it's all surrounded natural hills. And then we'll get closer, but we'll zoom up. There's a couple targets that we set down that were built that we use to do some shooting with. So we just lay them down when we leave. But we'll come back here and do some shooting. And let's see if we can see some deer. There's a ton of great deer activity over here as well. And then as soon as we do these areas, we can come back with the tractors and food plot them all. And also, this would be a property that we could clean up, food plot it, and set up maybe a tiny home, something like that, and then actually sell the property. So it's kind of in the vision to, you know, open it up to traveling the country and doing exclusive cool home setups for hunting properties. So usually there's deer bouncing by the time I get here, and they like to bed down in these areas. And then over here you see all these cut-ins and valleys. We can do little mini ranges in there and then food plot them as well. And there is a platform stand. We use that for sniper training because you can get a 400 plus yard shot all the way down the ridge from that platform. Well, we could do probably some massive wood chipping out here too from all the wood that's down on the ground from when they did the selective cut. This entire area here can be food plotted. So that rifle stand, you can kind of get a gist of how far you can shoot from that platform back there. Same thing in this entire area up there, and we'll drive up there, but you can see that looks like the wind got a hold of it, but there's an old platform stand right there. But all this area is green, can be food plotted, cleaned up. Build a tiny house on it for somebody's hunting camp and quadruple the value of the property. So vision wise, that would be, you know, the way to go. And there's the trail up to that. We'll drive up there, but we'll go down here to this other gate and turn around. And I mean, there's so much natural hills in here. You can do a cutout for a mini range, a pistol range, anything like that, or off of any one of these ravines. And also what I'd like to do is actually move the road out of the middle of the property because there's a grandfathered easement. And if we take it and take it all the way to the line on the other side with a bulldozer and then give them a new gate to drop in here, there's natural springs coming out of these hills. That's why this area is so wet in here. So basically we could be digging a pond back here as well. And this property is surrounded by swamps, big cedar swamps. So the deer come out of the swamps and will come to all these food sources, you know, and it's amazing habitat. So I'll get you a view back here. See, like there's a ravine where you could easily just go in there with a bulldozer or front end loader and drop a little mini range in there, you know, for as far as tactical shooting. We've used this entire property as a combat simulation area. So if you can envision walking through the property with the team with tripwires and non-lethal IEDs set up, you know, that provides them a very realistic rendition of what's going to happen when they go overseas. And this area is very sandy, so it's all natural range burn material, you know, where you don't have to really worry about too much to make it happen. On top of this hill up here, and let's see if I can get to it to see it, there's a large platform stand as well where it overlooks two ridges on both sides, so you can see a long ways. You can shoot in multiple directions from that platform stand. It might have blown down. Let's see, I don't see it. It was up there in those trees way at the top, but I didn't see it. We can rebuild that, but we also use that as a sniper stand for sniper training. Then we just basically pull everybody to this side of the property and we shoot going back toward the gate. And I think that's close to an 800-yard shot, but you only have limited lanes to shoot, so you've got to be able to get on that mover from a long ways away and you know, make that happen. You know, but there's just natural hill settings and stuff everywhere. So we'll drive up here now to where that center stand is. I'm testing out these new 22s. I better put it in 4-wheel drive just in case. So all this entire greenery that you see could easily be food plotted. A couple tractors, rototillers, cultivator, get up here, crank it out, seed it. It's the first time that I've ever come over to this property and not see deer jumping everywhere. There was probably somebody driving through here that is another property, and there's a center stand that came down, but you know, food plot this whole area, and you know, the deer will be coming through here like wildfire as usual. Now straight through this area over here, I'm just going to go up here and turn around, but you see all these little popple trees. There's massive buck runs, and the bucks love just to tear these popples up with their antlers as they go through the shedding process, and I'll show you a couple of those right now. I just saw this one driving by, but kind of the cool part is now you know where the bucks are going through at, right? So there's this buck rub. There's another one up on that tree right there. So that buck makes a habit of coming right through this area here. So, you know, just even mentoring tips for hunting all the way through is you see a buck rub line. And you can see he's been hitting it for a number of years. So that buck's still alive, still coming through here. You know, so good place to set up might be a tree stand over here or over here, and just planning on hunting it in the different wind directions. We go down a little bit further, there's another couple runs, and then they actually, you can see his buck run right through there. They pick up through there, and then there's a couple trees that are rubbed in there as well. So, like, even from a sniper standpoint, if you can envision movers down there at the end of that lane, and then being in that high rise on the platform 700-800 yards back, that's the shots that we train for. I was talking with Jeff Kyle last night, and John Wayne Walding, massive war hero, lost his leg in Iraq. He has a custom rifle company called 5 Toes Custom, because he only has 5 toes, and that would be a great way to plug a hero like that in the show as well. And Jeff's told him to keep a wrap on it, because we're probably going to prank him and do it. But I mean, these guys are all heroes. And as Americans and doing shows, you know, let's put some real stuff on the air and, you know, really get into it. This here is a massive buck run that's been around for years. You see all those trees that are tore up? So there's a buck that comes through here every year and just mangles this stuff. So, you know, it's a good, you see how they're all growing out funny. It's a good way to, you know, stay on your stuff. And there's a woodpecker, if you heard that in the distance. Just every bit of different kind of wildlife you can imagine's here. And then this 2-track goes out to the original road I drove in, all the way down. And then this 2-track here goes to the range where I showed you where the targets were knocked down. I'm going to turn around and not drive through there because I don't know if this truck has the height or not. There's something moving down there. I think it's a bear. I'm going to go get in the truck. I don't need an altercation. Right now is the time too that if they are bears, which I think they are bears, there'll be it looks like a mother and 2 cubs down there. I don't want to run into any cubs, especially when the mother bear's around. It's a good way to get tore up. Just another tip for common sense in the woods. I can do hunting tips and wildlife tips 24/7. I've lived it. I'm almost 47 now, and I've been in the woods since I've been 6 years old. So, but this will be an all beautiful area to plot. And, you know, always to plug sponsors in the show. Here we have Chevy riding dirty. And that truck is dirty. Brand new, day old. See all the deer running over there? It's like 8 deer that just busted through there. I knew they were here. Spots like this right here, you just go in there and push that all up with a front end loader in about 10 minutes and have a custom pistol range. Not only that, you know, put a platform up high in the background, and then you got a stand to hunt from right there. That whole ridge can be done like that, and it's just basically getting a wood chipper and chipping all that lumber, or getting somebody in here that wants it to come in and cut it out. In this area right here, there actually used to be an old house. There's a well pipe right next to that wide tree with the crack in it. So if you put in a house here, you could tap into that well, then all you have to do is run a new pump line to it. Everything where you make a range over here, you know, it's a perfect setup for that and for hunting. You know, and you've got, this is the range here, so we've got the targets, so we just set them down when we leave. Notice there's the hunting blind, the old school hunting blind up on that ridge. That's a really good spot. Could do a high rise at the other end also, or a high rise there, and then have the dirt berm on the other side, or do 360. So it's really unlimited. It's got kind of a natural berm set up and everything already over there. And then back in the day, you see that route going up there. That's all food plot going up there too. And then the big tree back in there, there used to be a tree stand in that, that we climbed up in to hunt that. Actually shot a coyote in the head with an arrow. It followed in the dopey I had on my boots right to my stand, and I shot it straight down in the head underneath that big tree right back there. That one. Stand was right up there. Unlimited potential for tactical training, deer hunting, you name it. So we could redo this property, maybe put a container house on it, a couple containers, something like that, plug that in the show, and then actually turn around and sell the property. So one of our team members, Daniel McDowell, that works at Selfridge Air Force Base as a security forces manager. We have target tracker systems in there. He's actually going through school right now to get his realtor's license. So we could plug him in the show and go, oh, hey, by the way, you're going to get the listing on this one. You know, and he would be ecstatic for that if, you know, if he probably didn't say, to heck with it, I'm buying it myself. So I'm going to come up here and then we'll go into our little mini range area to show you that. So right here in all the short pistol training lessons, you've probably can familiarize yourself with this little berm area here. This is also just generated to be able to do combat Pacific mission style teamwork as well in short range. You know, it's the hill in the background. It's a natural berm. So front end loader pushing that stuff down. We could do a big berm here, food plot, this whole area. This area right here, for some reason, has always been a super buck area. And I'm going to show you why, right? That tree has been tore up every single year, all the way from the bottom to the top, the little one. There's always scrapes and rubs in this area. That tree right there was rubbed until the top snapped off of it. Notice this tree's been rubbed every year too. That's why all the sap's out on it. This tree over here, that's a marking tree. So you see how it's kind of rubbed up higher on the tree. That tree, they rub their antlers and then leave their scent to kind of say, like, hey, I was here, I left you a note, you know, where were you? That tree's been marked up a little bit. Right here is where they tear up the dirt and leave their scrape. This tree here tore up. This tree here tore up. There was another tree, but I think they ripped it right out of the ground. And then here's the other view of the stand for sniper training. That's a 100-yard sniper training stand for the berm that we were just at. That bank over there is where you lay down and do your sniper training to the berm. It's roughly 150 yards. And the idea of this one here and being in the berm in the back is you have to pick your spots through these tree branches, so it's not easy. And we're all about bullet accountability, so your shots are going to be 80% bullet on target from any of those spots. But this whole area could be food plotted as well. But it gives you a good, I mean, you know, that's no small buck that's doing that. That's a pretty good sized tree right there. And while I'm walking around, I'm looking for morels. So if we get some good mushrooms, we'll be eating some venison steaks with some morels for hunting season. And one of the other things about one of our teammates, Daniel McDowell, is he is a amazing barbecue cooker. He has he's won awards and stuff for his barbecue. He's got a big smoker and a small smoker. So one of the things that we were planning on doing was smoking a hog. So probably shooting down to Texas, hunting with Jeff Kyle, getting some hogs, and then having Danny cook them up. So between real estate and revamping properties and training and hunting and cooking, fixer-uppers, glamour blinds, what you can drive four-wheelers into, gun ranges that we're making, products that we have available with our custom rifle builders, you name it, the sky's the limit. And you know, to me, I think it's you know, good in forming a generational type hunting show as well, you know, with our children and bringing them up through it like we were. So I'm going to sign out for now. Have a great day. Hey, and as always, be safe and shoot straight. No problem for a Chevy truck. There's a deer right there running across the road. There's another one. Oh, slow down. Yeah, there ain't no deer around.